1 century after Nikola Tesla's dream of free energy was buried, a team of modern inventors has finally revived it, and their creation, the Liberty Engine 2.0, may be the breakthrough that finally turns Tesla's impossible vision into working reality.
Tesla died alone and broke. He lived off a diet of warm milk and crackers and was obsessed with feeding the pigeons outside. One of the greatest inventors of all time faded into obscurity and died penniless. There is a reason why this happened, which will become clear by the end of the—
Nikola Tesla believed energy should flow as freely as air. At the start of the 20th century, while others chased light bulbs and motors, Tesla dreamed of a world where power could be transmitted wirelessly across vast distances. No wires, no bills, no limits.
It was designed as a large Tesla coil, which consisted of a series of capacitors that could store vast amounts of electrical energy. The energy was then released in a concentrated beam, which could be directed toward a target.
His laboratory at Wardenclyffe Tower in New York was not just a place of experiments. It was the birthplace of an idea that could have liberated humanity from the constraints of the grid. Tesla wanted to send electricity through the air using the Earth itself as a conductor. He imagined people powering their homes, ships, and machines without ever plugging in a cord.
The theories of energy by Nikola Tesla have been revolutionary, to say the least.
But that vision never made it to reality. Investors pulled their funding, fearing what free electricity would do to their profits. The tower was dismantled, Tesla's research was seized, and he was branded a dreamer who had lost his way. For years, the world moved on, but some people never stopped listening to the whispers of his work. Every so often, rumors would surface of secret inventions or recovered blueprints hidden in government archives or private collections. People called them conspiracy theories, but the fascination never faded. And now, after decades of silence, a team of independent engineers claims they have built something inspired by Tesla's forgotten vision. They call it the Liberty Engine 2.0, a machine designed to produce clean, continuous energy without the need for fuel, sunlight, or wind. It does not break the laws of physics. Instead, it plays with them in clever ways that make you wonder if we have only scratched the surface of what is possible. At first glance, the Liberty Engine 2.0 looks unimpressive. It is a modest setup, a combination of metal, magnets, and coils that could easily be mistaken for a workshop experiment. There are no fancy control panels or glowing displays, but what it lacks in appearance, it makes up for in purpose. This is a generator designed to sustain itself. Once it starts spinning, it keeps going. Once it goes, it keeps producing electricity. No external power, no batteries, just continuous movement driven by the forces of magnetism and precision engineering. The heart of the device lies in its rotor, a circular core fitted with some of the most powerful permanent magnets available, known as neodymium magnets. As this rotor spins past specially wound copper coils, it generates alternating current, the same type of electricity that powers homes and factories. This is the same principle used in large power plants, except the Liberty Engine 2.0 does it on a much smaller scale and without the need for combustion or mechanical fuel. The system uses a simple manual pull start to get going, like an old generator, and once it reaches its ideal speed of around 1400 revolutions per minute, it stabilizes. From that point, it generates a steady output of around 230 volts, the same voltage used in many countries. The result is 20,000 watts of usable power, enough to run household appliances, computers, and even industrial tools. What makes the Liberty Engine 2.0 fascinating is not just what it produces, but how it sustains itself. The entire setup is based on a feedback loop, a continuous cycle where the energy it generates helps to keep it in motion. Once it starts producing electricity, part of that output flows back into the system, maintaining its rotation and keeping the current steady. The initial pull only serves to set things in motion. After that, the machine takes over. It does not rely on external charging or hidden batteries. It simply keeps moving as long as its components remain in balance. The engineering behind it is surprisingly thoughtful. The team used a combination of aluminum and silver alloy for the rotor to reduce what are called eddy currents. These are small loops of wasted electricity that occur when metals interact with magnetic fields. By reducing them, the engine conserves more energy and stays cool even after hours of operation. Each coil is sealed in resin to protect it from heat and vibration. The balance of the rotor is precise to the millimeter, ensuring that there is no unnecessary friction. The entire frame is crafted for stability, making sure every spin stays smooth and consistent. When running, the engine produces a faint hum, barely louder than a refrigerator. To prove the authenticity of their design, the creators filmed the Liberty Engine 2.0 in operation. No edits, no camera cuts. They powered multiple devices, including computers, power drills, grinders, and water pumps, all running simultaneously. The voltage stayed constant, and the rotor did not slow down. They then disassembled the entire setup on camera, showing every wire and component, confirming there were no hidden batteries or power sources. What they presented was a machine built purely from common materials and fundamental principles of electromagnetic induction. The simplicity of it makes the results even more intriguing. Of course, such a claim naturally attracts skepticism. Engineers and scientists have spent years debunking so-called perpetual motion machines that promise more energy than they consume. The Liberty Engine 2.0 does not claim to do that. It does not defy physics. It works within them, exploiting magnetic forces, low friction, and careful energy feedback to sustain operation without traditional inputs.
It's relentless. In the shadows of history, one name echoes louder than all the rest.
It is not infinite energy, but it is an intelligent approach to self-sufficiency. If the system can keep itself running with minimal loss, it represents a step closer to what Tesla once imagined, a world where energy is no longer something we have to dig for or pay for, but something that flows naturally once set in motion. Real-world testing has been encouraging. The team behind the Liberty Engine 2.0 conducted field trials in isolated areas far from any electrical grid. They brought a range of power-hungry devices to push the machine to its limits. Despite continuous operation, the voltage held steady and there were no signs of overheating or mechanical fatigue. The materials used in the rotor and coil assembly allowed the system to maintain efficiency while keeping heat levels low. What surprised even experienced observers was the quietness of the engine. There were no rattling belts or whining motors, just the sound of consistent rotation and quiet energy flow. The promise of this technology goes far beyond laboratory tests. Imagine rural communities no longer bound by unstable power grids. Imagine disaster zones where people can power medical equipment, communication tools, and water pumps without relying on diesel or solar setups. The Liberty Engine 2.0 offers a glimpse into a world where energy independence is achievable not through massive infrastructure but through intelligent, compact design. It invites a shift in how we think about power generation, moving it from centralized control to individual empowerment. The story of the Liberty Engine 2.0 is not just about the device itself. It is about the persistence of an idea that refuses to die. Tesla dreamed of global energy liberation, and though he was dismissed in his time, his vision has never truly vanished. Every generation seems to rediscover pieces of his genius and tries again to finish what he started. The creators of the Liberty Engine 2.0 see themselves not as revolutionaries, but as continuationists, picking up where Tesla left off, using modern materials and technology to rebuild what history tried to erase. Yet even with all its promise, the Liberty Engine 2.0 is still a prototype. It needs refinement, testing, and verification from independent researchers. It needs open collaboration and transparency. Its creators are exploring better alloys, stronger magnets, and compact versions that could fit into smaller homes or mobile units. They are not guarding the design behind secrecy. They are opening it to the world, hoping that more minds will improve and expand on it. Because if the idea holds true, it could reshape everything from how we live to how we think about energy ownership. Energy has always been the heartbeat of civilization. Entire nations rise and fall based on who controls it. What if every home, every farm, every workshop could generate its own electricity without relying on distant grids or unpredictable suppliers? It would change economies, policies, and the very foundation of global power. That is why such innovations often face resistance. Still, progress often begins with a spark. The Liberty Engine 2.0 may not be the final solution, but it has already reignited curiosity about what is truly possible when creativity meets persistence. It challenges the assumption that innovation must always come from big corporations or billion-dollar labs. Sometimes it starts in a garage, in the hands of people who refuse to stop experimenting. It is a reminder that great ideas rarely die. They just wait for the right time to be seen again. The potential impact of this technology is enormous. Imagine households in remote regions powering lights, water systems, and communication tools entirely off-grid. Imagine communities recovering from storms or conflict, rebuilding with devices that generate their own electricity without burning fuel. Imagine space exploration powered by small, reliable electromagnetic engines that never need recharging. These are not science fiction dreams. They are tangible possibilities if machines like the Liberty Engine 2.0 can be developed and scaled. But more than its physical utility, what makes this story special is its symbolism. The Liberty Engine 2.0 represents freedom. Freedom from dependency, freedom from monopolies, and freedom from the fear of darkness when the grid fails. It stands as a small but significant act of defiance against the notion that only large institutions can control the flow of energy. It whispers the same message Tesla tried to shout a century ago, that energy belongs to everyone. That's all for today's video. Thank you for watching till the end. What do you think of the Liberty Engine 2.0? Let's know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell so you don't miss our next video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.